Hey, there we go.
There we go.
Welcome to World Local News. Recording live from Raleigh, North Carolina, in front of no audience. World Local News, 80% news, 20% bullshit. You've got questions? So do we. Like my grandmother always says, don't knock it till you try it 8 times. I'm not wearing pants. World Local News. Everything is fucked. Let's get on with the show.
Welcome to another episode of World Local News. I'm your host, Freddie Valoy, and I'm here with my co-host, the fabulous, the wonderful, the might be gay, Greg Perlman.
Well, let me put those rumors to bed right away. I'm gay for you, but no one else.
Oh, there we go, guys. That was a World Local News breaking story, guys. Today's episode is titled Trial by Combat, brought to you by Rudy Giuliani, guys. Rudy Giuliani said trial by combat. I think he should be worried about his hair dye or whatever the hell he was worried about.
His leaks, his body leaks.
Body leaks. There was trial by combat in his head.
Body leaks was actually a title for one of my last albums that we tossed out. It was going to be Body Leaks.
What was the winning title?
Body Leaked.
So it's the past tense.
Post.
Okay,
exactly
I like that.
right.
It's already
Exactly
happened.
right.
It's
Exactly
confirmed.
Right.
I like
Exactly
that.
right.
I like that.
So, Freddie, and for everyone listening, if you want to subscribe to our channel, you can find us on YouTube. Search World Local News. You can find us on Instagram at World Local News. You can follow me on Instagram at G Perlman, Twitter at Greg Perlman. Freddie, where can they find you, boy?
Yo, hey, fucking Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Really follow me on Instagram and YouTube. And I do a weekly live stream Mondays at 9. I now stream my solo Dolo cast for Fred Talk. Last night it was really good numbers. People stayed on a long time. We interacted in the comments. It's a lot of fun.
I was there.
Yeah, it was fun.
I was in there. I was in those comments.
Can I get a review? Give me honest review.
I'm going to go ahead and give it 4.8 stars out of 5. And I'll tell you exactly.
He means that. He's not fucking around.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I'm going to take 0.2 off. And I texted you about it after.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the crowd, man. It's just for you.
Yeah.
This is for you.
Yeah, sometimes I get insecure and I'm like, am I rambling? Like, is this making sense to everybody else?
You're perfect.
But
I mean, not perfect. You're a
I'm
4.8.
Yeah. Yo, honestly, these days I have been feeling like a 4.8. I've been feeling confident, mostly. I just yeah.
If you're living the majority of your days at a 4.8, I mean, that's high.
That's good. Where are you living your days these days? You just moved, so
I moved. I think I'm living at like a 4.6 right now. I'm at a 4.6. If I'm being honest with myself, I'm
Really?
because there's still a significant chunk to improve.
Okay,
but
All
I'm
right.
doing pretty well.
That's so
I mean,
funny.
that's a 4.6 would be a 92. You'd get a 92 on the paper.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty
But
good.
I feel like I'm a 4.6 and you're a 4.8.
Oh no, I didn't Dolo cast last night. I watched yours.
Actually, you're right. I am a 4.8.
Yeah,
That
bumped me up.
Yeah.
That bumped me up. I was at a 4.4, and I was like, "See, guys, this is why people should tune in to World Local News and to the Fred Talk, your podcast, all of it, because it's going to elevate you." I was really a 4.4, and then I watched your Dolo cast, and I went up to a 4.6.
It was definitely bump you up a couple points depending on where you're at. I like that. That.
All right, Freddie, it's January 12th, 2021. So everyone knows we're in the second year of the podcast. How many months we've been doing it doesn't matter. But, last week,
Own the chaos in the house. Love it. Robinson Santana, what's up, baby boy? How you doing? Oh my God, we getting love from New York guys on Facebook and Pennsylvania via YouTube.
Wow,
we're
Pennsylvania and YouTube.
yeah, bro. We're killing it
maybe
right
Philly's
now,
in
bro.
the house.
Yeah,
maybe
dude.
my Philly crew's in the house. So last week was the night of the was January 5th, the night of the Georgia runoff elections. We'll be brief about that because January 6th was then a different day.
Yeah.
But the two Democratic senators, just to follow up for our listeners, the two Democratic senators from Georgia won their races. They won both their races. So Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff defeated David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler. So now going into the Biden administration, the Democrats have control of the House. They have control of the Senate because it's a 50-50 tie now, and the tie goes to the vice president, which is Kamala Harris, and, of course, the Democratic president, Joe Biden.
All right, off grip, that shit makes me uncomfortable.
Talk it out.
Because it just makes me uncomfortable to have half of, like, it's two political parties, and you got one side that has all the power. It just seems imbalanced. Like, just as a person that just...
So this is why our political system is so weird, because in a normal... or in a perfect world, you would have two sides. Two sides would be coming with different ideas to the table. Mm-hmm. You'd debate your ideas. You'd be able to say, hey, your idea is better than my idea in some aspects, and my idea is better than yours in some aspects. And how do we blend them together? And so now, just like Republicans would do, or just like Democrats would do, now they have a chance to push through the legislation that they want. So I think to counter yours, I think a lot of people would say when the Congress is divided, there's a lot of gridlock, right? So things will pass the House, but they won't be brought up to vote in the Senate.
Yeah, and they won't pass them out of some ego shit. Like, we just can't give them this win.
That's right.
They don't do what's better for the country.
That's right.
They do what's better for the perceived
for their
value
party.
of
For their
the
party.
party. Yeah. That's some bitch ass shit, if you ask me.
I agree.
Like, that's not real nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not.
Well, and this
we need real niggas in Congress. Can you?
I'm not going to debate that.
I mean,
I'm not going to say it, but I'm not going to debate it either.
I think we need real niggas in Congress, and we need to sign a petition. I think the World Local News needs to start a petition where we get real niggas in Congress, because right now we got some bitch ass motherfuckers in Congress. Yeah.
Wait, but they already have an RNC. They already have an RNC, so we got to come up with a new name. But I see where you're going. Let's what you're describing to me is more of a coalition of the people, right?
Coalition of real niggas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Right. You know what I'm
again,
saying?
you say it.
That's the coalition of people that are gonna get things done, and that are gonna be a part. They're they're gonna be people of honor. If you watch the movie Gladiator as a man, you see that movie and you go, I want to be that fucking guy. I want to die avenging my dead wife and dead kid's death, and I want to die with honor.
If you were a real man, you wouldn't have let them die. So Russell Crowe doesn't meet your criteria. No, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. People who get shit done, they stand up for what's right. They're able to change their opinions when they're wrong. And they have the best interest of the public in mind.
Yeah. And when
the RNC.
The RNC, or it says the coalition of oh, there we go. Corn. I like that. Corn.
Not bad.
And you got to pronounce, I like pronouncing the R really hard. That's going to be that. Corn.
Yeah, corn.
Corn.
Yeah, that's a better hard R than what you're talking about.
Because if you say corn white, then they won't. You get to Trojan horse the whole thing in. You know what I'm saying? And if you be like, oh, corn is meeting you at 11, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, let him right in. Corn? What's that?
You're going to get a bunch of farmers.
You can't be like, yo, corn. Like, you can't.
No,
then
con.
It'll blow the...
Con.
It'll blow the whole cover. So.
No, it's not Kahn.
Yeah.
It's KORN.
Yeah, that hard. Yeah,
corn.
I like that. Hard R.
All right, I'm in for that. All right, so, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, the facts are the facts. Biden president.
Yes.
Democrat-controlled Senate.
But you make a good point about now we get to see with Now there's no excuse. So if the Democrats don't get anything done now, it's all on them.
Yeah, that's right.
This is good.
That's
so
right.
All right, I like that.
That's right.
I like that level of accountability. I can fuck with that. I
yeah,
like that.
it's
I
good.
like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, accountability in government is kind of a oxymoron, but hey,
Yeah.
one can hope, right? Okay, so that was January 5th. Now, Freddie, you're gonna have to remind me. Is there anything that might have been discussed on that last episode about what was happening the next day? Because here's the thing. Let me just preface. I'm not an I told you so guy. And when, a potential I told you so has to do with violence, that's not a good situation.
No, but I mean,
let the people know, Fred.
dude, I got to give props where props is due. Greg called it, bro. Like Nostradamus. He called the violence that was going to happen. I was thinking, I'm thinking, oh, Greg's some cucky little liberal. He's being a little bitch right now. And he's overreacting about what, nobody's going to storm the Capitol, and these motherfuckers stormed the Capitol. And I'm a guy that predicts shit, bro. I predicted Harambe's killing. I predicted the Nintendo Switch coming. There's different predictions. Don't fact check me on any of those.
I predicted,
because those were just lies.
I predicted like YouTube and Hulu.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
More so Hulu, but that's okay.
I'll tell you what I did predict when I was a kid. I predicted the female empowerment move. Not like I was like, I bet you women are gonna have their time in my lifetime. I fucking knew it, and it started happening a few years ago. And all the bitch dudes were like,
yeah, who's the liberal? Who's the liberal now?
Oh yeah, now I am.
Man.
Yeah, look at me.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm emasculated.
That's all right. Yeah. So turns out, some of the things that I mentioned, both of our pleas for no violence, really didn't come to fruition.
But Greg called. You called it.
I did call it.
You called it.
And that's why they call me Greggy Facts.
Greggy Facts.
Yeah, they call me Greggy Facts.
Since when have they been calling you this?
Don't fact check that one either.
Okay,
but they call me Greggy Facts in a lot of circles. In many circles, a lot of people are talking about it in many circles, and they're saying great things, and they're calling me Greggy Facts. I've heard it.
Greggy Facts. I like that. Greggy Facts.
Greggy Facts.
Hold on. Robinson Santana says, you guys are right, but it's about who has the hammer. For 4 years, Republicans had it, and now the Democrats turn with the hammer. That's true. They got the hammer and the anvil right now, it seems like, with all the seats in the House that they got. I
can't think about anvils without thinking about Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner.
I think of the wrestler Anvil from WWF, I think. He had like the beard,
I don't remember
the pointy beard. Real scary looking dude. Kind of haunts me a little bit.
Interesting.
But Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, they have the anvil for sure. The hammer, the anvil. So, we'll see what they do. Just like Republicans in 2016 were saying, give Trump a chance. The same has to be true now, right?
To give Biden a chance?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I challenge Democrats to give Biden the same exact energy that they gave Trump.
Oh,
we need to hold all these politicians to the same fucking standard. Like, as much as you hate the other side, you should be holding your side to the same standard, because these politicians are not your freaking friends. We should be pimping these motherfuckers out. Like, literally, we should be going in with government-issued fur coats and slapping these motherfuckers up. Like, hey, I asked for this bill. What's going on with this? Like,
I want to walk into a room and go, ha ha.
Yeah, pow! Slap the shit out of whoever you need to, because they didn't sign this bill because somebody made some extra money along the way. That's the kind of world that I'm going to fucking build.
I would like all of my politicians to be dressed like the Player Haters Balls sketch in Chappelle's show.
Yes.
For sure. Okay, Freddie, before we jump into Wednesday, what happened Wednesday?
Yeah.
I want to read 3 quotes to you. The first, these people, and these are quotes about Trump.
Okay.
These people built nothing, created nothing. They existed to cast blame and tear down certain institutions, and to give outlet to anger. Donald Trump is the modern day incarnation of the Know Nothing movement. Second quote, when a candidate urges supporters to engage in physical violence, to punch people in the face, the predictable consequence of that is that it escalates. Last quote, there's only one presidential candidate who has violence at their events. You mark my words, there will be prominent people in American politics who will spend years explaining to people how they fell into this. Would you like to guess who made those quotes?
I actually have no idea. So a lot of times I have an idea and I don't even want to guess because I don't know where to start.
The first one is Rick Perry, former presidential candidate who ran in 2016.
Okay.
Who was then in Trump's cabinet.
Okay.
Ted Cruz was the second quote.
Okay.
And
The Rock?
No, Ted Cruz.
Oh, okay.
Senator
I
Ted
was trying
Cruz.
to guess the third one. I was thinking maybe like it was a celebrity. I didn't know.
No, the third one is Marco Rubio.
Okay, so these are all Republicans.
These are all Republicans in 2016.
Wow, dude. Yo, right now Trump is like fucking Denzel Washington at the end of Training Day, just fucking.
Oh yeah,
you motherfuckers. I can't. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. We do bad impressions on this show and on my podcast because I do bad impressions and I ain't stopping to do impressions. So
the reason why I wanted to call out those three quotes in particular is because those are three people during the 2016 election who were all running, who came out very negatively against Trump. Lindsey Graham, the senator from South Carolina, is another one.
Okay.
And you all hear them talk about, violence, the escalation of violence.
Yeah.
They're not dummies, or at least they weren't in 2016, and they knew that something like what happened on January 6th could happen.
When did they say that?
They said that back in 2016 when he was running.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 4 years ago. And so, all of these people, but what's so fascinating is that how could these people come out and say this? We covered, Ted Cruz last week, and Trump, was shit on his wife, about his dad being Cuban. He called Marco Rubio Little Marco Rubio.
That's funny. The Cuban thing. There's an argument for that, but go ahead.
No, he said that his dad was a part of the JFK assassination. That's what he said about Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz's father. Dude, it's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, listen. 2016 Trump, when he was shitting on all of these people, was watching him tear down the Bush family. Like we talk about not liking, political dynasties and things like that. Like he took down the Bush family for sure.
Yeah, he exposed those Republican politicians for being little pussies too, because they always had this like bravado to them. Like the Republican politicians to me seemed a little bit like manlier, like the cowboy persona,
That's
all
right.
of that.
Like Rick Perry. Perry.
And when on stage, he was just roasting them. I felt like I was watching at a playground in New York, just watching people get shit on. They were like,
It felt comfortable. I was like,
yeah.
I was like writing comebacks for them in real time. Like not one of them made fun of his hair.
At
like,
all.
come on.
His shape, his
Anything,
whole like
anything. And like going into that, like, who the fuck was he? You know what I mean? Like just a television real estate guy. But here's what's so interesting about these three, that they could say that. And then Rick Perry, is in his cabinet. He was the Secretary of Energy. Ted Cruz, to this day is one of his biggest supporters. Marco Rubio, up until, last week was at all of these rallies to try and get people to come to DC and protest the election. So it's just very interesting how far we come on the last week of Trump's presidency.
He's really dropped the ball. Like it's undoubtedly now that he did a bad job as president, right? Like
Trump.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this too. If I'm a Republican voter, right? I'm thinking about this. Since in this motherfucker's presidency, they flipped Georgia. Or just with that alone, I would be thinking.
Well,
like,
hold on. You don't even have to go that granular. Let's stay at a high level.
Yeah.
Lost the House,
Yeah,
Senate,
yeah,
and the presidency.
Yeah, and also all three of those. But just to me, Georgia alone, I'd be like, how the fuck you lose that, dog? That's
What's
not
next,
supposed
Kentucky?
to happen. Yeah, like it's
Mississippi.
Like, they almost lost Texas too.
I don't believe that.
You think that?
I don't believe
okay.
that.
All right.
I know at some point, like a couple in 2018, like Beto O'Rourke was close.
Yeah.
Like he was within like 5 percentage points at one point.
Beto's, what's up with him? He's got something.
I don't like him.
You know why?
He, to me, he feels like the assistant professor.
Yes,
Like
I was about to say,
like
because
he's
you're
bitter
cool, he's kind of a cool white guy, and you're a cool white guy. Do you think he's encroaching on your cool white guy territory?
No, I think we're coming from two different ends of the cool spectrum.
Yeah, you're like actually cool.
Maybe to me, he's like academic cool.
Ah, there we go. There we go.
And like, but he has this, like, there's something about him where like maybe he just never got the main job. He never got the tenure track position.
Yeah.
But like he's just kind of happy go lucky. Like, well, I'm good being the assistant professor.
He'll meet you outside of the teaching schedule hours.
Here's the different. Here's why I have no respect. Well, not that I have no respect for him. Stacey Abrams lost her race for governor in a gerrymandered election in Georgia, and then she went out and galvanized over 1 million people to vote in the Georgia elections this time around, and flipped Georgia.
Yeah.
Like, she's of course not solely responsible for it, but she is the most visible
She's
public
feet on the
figure.
ground. She is the sleeping giant that Donald Trump has awoken.
Exactly.
Woke up.
100%. And so,
Awoke easy.
Beto O'Rourke had the same opportunity to do that in Texas, and he didn't. He didn't do it.
Beto, what the fuck, dude?
Beto, maybe he did, but like he didn't have the success.
I know you're watching this, Beto. What the fuck are you doing?
Beto's like Fredo, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's too close to Fredo. It's too close.
It's too close
he
to
has,
Fredo.
He has the essence of Fredo.
He's got Fredo vibes to me.
Fredo and Beto.
Yeah, he's
Damn.
got Fredo vibes.
We should make like correspondence and just make I'll be Fredo and you be Beto. We'll be like the weak versions of us, like Bizarro World versions of us.
I'm into it. Yeah. So I think the lasting, if in normal times, in a normal presidency, the lasting effect would be he lost the House, lost the Senate, lost the presidency.
Yeah.
And so that's and so now after Wednesday, you have to, throw a new title onto his legacy. I don't. What do we call it? Insurrectionist. Do we call it? What do you? I think you just got to call it what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, people they try.
Like if you try to overthrow an election where all 50 states certify the election, it's insurrection.
It's textbook terrorism.
Unconstitutional.
Cause destruction for a political aim. That's like textbook terrorism. Akin to anybody who was Antifa at the BLM riots, like that. I think that's also a political.
That's interesting.
That's a political.
Do you think they're equivalent? Like the riots that happened during Black Lives Matter and the terrorism on Wednesday. Oh well, hold on. What would you call last Wednesday's events terrorism? Would you call it like how would you define it? I guess
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday's terrorism.
Terrorism.
Yeah, Wednesday is legit, and I'm not even. That's not even a joke. I'm not being. I'm not exaggerating. It's definitely definitely terrorism. And the defining layer to me in this whole thing that separates it from BLM is that it was caused or very close to being. I mean, it's caused by the president. It was incited by the president.
Yep.
Like when your right hand man says trial by combat, an hour before all that shit goes, that's it.
What's that segment they do? Donkey of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, is he the donkey of the decade?
Yeah, dude. Like that. If you think about it, too, the balls to storm the Capitol. Like
unbelievable. How do you?
That's wild.
If Greg Perlman goes to storm the Capitol, I am anticipating my death. If I'm storming the Capitol in a building where the Congress is in session, they're in session.
Yeah.
Every single lawmaker.
Yeah.
If I'm storming there and I've got weapons, and I'm violent, I'm expecting to die.
100%. And people
Right?
did die. That lady got shot. That's fucking wild.
Four protesters died. One police officer was murdered.
It took a minute to get there.
Yeah.
It took, because the first thing that I noticed from the whole thing, because here's the thing. For me, I wasn't even upset that they stormed the Capitol. Same way I wasn't upset when they were trashing things. If I had to pick one to do, I'd prefer storm the Capitol.
No, keep going.
I prefer storm the Capitol because it's a government building, whatever. But the part that I looked at was the part where, you know, I saw a group of white people pushing these cops, and these cops are almost being kind of submissive to them. And I was like, oh shit. Like it was glaring to me and a lot of other people. Definitely had people in my DMs disagreeing with me on that. And with those people, I just go, you know, we can agree to disagree, but
Sure.
It took a minute to get to that point. But yeah, some people died. They got shot because they were, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the circumstances, though, like, you know, the destruction of property that happened during the Black Lives Matter protests, like those protests are scheduled, like, you know what I mean? They happen after.
I mean, they caused a ton of damage. Like
no,
that.
I'm not saying that they didn't. I'm not saying
yeah.
that they didn't, but they didn't happen in the middle of the day, right? Like those protests happened at night. Businesses were closed.
I think people were out in the middle of the day too.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm wrong on that. Then I'm wrong.
Yeah, but I think if I had to say which one's worse, the Capitol thing is way worse.
Were they destroying I don't know the answer. Were they destroying property while people were at work and working?
No, because we were in. We were still kind of deep into the quarantine. Like,
and so, you know, how many people were in the Capitol building working that day?
Oh shit, there was
circumstances
a bunch of people, right?
a little different, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not storming. You're not storming, you know, an empty streets, right? You're storming a building with weapons,
Yeah.
or, you know, even just violently while people are trying to do their jobs. The circumstances are for sure different. I know you don't compare, you know, what Black Lives Matter or any, you know, civil or human rights protest is marching for. You know, the fact that Wednesday was a riot that was incited by someone who couldn't get over the fact that they lost.
Yeah, it's dark.
And, you know, the crazy thing about him inciting the violence is, like, I bet all of those people sit at home watching that movie like Olympus Has Fallen. Like, who are they rooting for in that movie? Like, have you ever seen Olympus Has Fallen?
I have not. Is that the one with Gerard Butler?
Yeah.
He had a hot streak.
My goodness.
Remember he had a few years there where he was in, it was like from 300 to, I think, Olympus Has Fallen or something like that. Or what was a Law-Abiding Citizen? Was that with him too?
Oh, with Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, he
not set in Philadelphia. Come on.
Really? Oh, that seems like a good movie, a place to film movies. Because it looks like New York, but it's probably cheaper to film there because it's not as good as
correct.
New York, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They filmed the movie Limitless in Philadelphia. And so I was living in Philadelphia at the time, and they like changed a bunch of street signs. It was like, this is not 42nd and Broadway. Like, what
they won't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what's going on here? Yeah. So, you know, the crazy thing is, like, you know, we don't know a lot about it yet. You know, we don't know, you know, obviously there's the information that, people are writing lengthy comments.
Yeah. Hold on. Janice Ramirez says it's actually ridiculous, Capitol, to even say that BLM protests were anything like what happened at the Capitol. BLM is about racial.
We agree.
Oh, yeah.
We
No.
agree.
Yeah, that's why I said I think the Capitol thing is worse because, like you said, at the end of the day, BLM happened for rights and shit like that, and this other thing happened because you didn't.
A little crybaby bitch. A little crybaby bitch.
Yeah, because Donald Trump didn't win the presidency, so that's
We are 100% aligned.
Yeah.
On that. Yeah. No.
We're
Black
not.
Lives. That's sorry if I misspoke. Like, Black Lives Matter, the Women's March, the march for immigrants. Like, those are those are worthy.
Yes.
Those are worthy causes that everyone, no matter what political party, should want. Like,
Yeah.
these are not zero-sum games.
No, this
know
is
what I
way. The Capitol was way worse. So we
Way
can
worse.
compare them, but when we do compare them, I think that this is way worse at different levels because also like for national security, like internationally now ISIS is like is that it? Like,
Oh my gosh. Well, and that's
Like-
and that's what's so concerning about all this because so I'm going to try this again. When 9/11 happened, George W. Bush was a calming voice for the nation. When there was an attack on America, George W. Bush, he came out and he made speeches, he threw out the first pitch. He and there was at least a face that was saying, "Hey, like we're gonna be okay."
yeah.
Now too bad he has the face of a raisin, but
That's a A1 elite old man face he's got.
yeah, oh yeah,
That's how you want to be like this. Like,
That's-
I'll fucking when I'm
that's-
old, I just want to be like squinty eyed.
it's like weathered leather money face.
Yeah.
So we haven't heard Trump address anything.
No, that's fucked
We haven't
up.
heard.
Yeah.
We haven't heard from the military apparatus. We haven't heard from the press secretary. We need to the public. We pay for them to do this horrible job, so we deserve
To know what the hell's going on.
100%.
Okay, so now, Greg, I hear there's going to be is there like another march on Inauguration Day?
Yeah. So there's the FBI has reported and various other intelligence groups have reported that there's like 3 particular ones. One of them is called like the Million Militia March. But they're all related to, decertifying the election. So they're all in between now, January 12th and January 20th on the inauguration. Now, what's super scary, again, Freddie,
Yep.
is that what is Monday, January 19th?
Monday, January 19th is
Or no, I'm sorry. Whatever January 19th is MLK Day.
Oh shit.
MLK's birthday, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh no, but I think MLK Day is the third Monday of every month, and so that's the 18th. That's the 18th.
Okay. Inauguration is the 20th.
Yeah, it's not his birthday; it's MLK Day. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Almost,
It's kinda
almost
like a
went
birthday, too.
0 for 2 on wokeness. So golly geez, man. I mean, that's a horrible holiday to fall in the middle of all this bullshit.
Oh yeah.
A horrible
Yeah.
holiday to fall under this bullshit. But you have to it's pretty concerning right now. Like all reports are that even before this is that like Trump is checked out. He hasn't said shit about the coronavirus since December 8th. Looked that up today. That's true.
Wow.
Hasn't said anything about corona. And like we're in the worst of it right now. We're approaching 400,000 deaths, which is like not normal. 22,000 people died from the flu last year. 22,000 people.
Is that more or less than usual?
Who cares? It's not 400,000. You know what I mean? Remember like this is no different than the flu, they said.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh shit, I didn't know that number. That's good.
Yeah.
Because that was an argument. It was like
Yeah.
more people die from the flu. So 22,000 died from the flu and we're at over 300.
We're nearing 400,000 deaths in America and over 24 million cases.
Okay, so coronavirus beat the flu by that much?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so World Local News
Dude,
wants to give an award to the coronavirus for Rookie of the Year. Came out and it's an inaugural year for the coronavirus and came out and took out a long-standing Hall of Famer, the flu.
Shout out to coronavirus. Shout out to coronavirus, the deadliest virus we've seen in quite some time. It's killed your loved ones. Republicans still don't wear masks. My God.
Oh man, Robinson Santana says he's going to have the military out for inauguration. Why is he doing that? Do you know why he's doing that, Robinson? Let us know.
So he activated. Trump eventually did. I think the music's still playing. Trump did finally authorize like emergency National Guard troops and things like that to like immediately.
Okay. Oh,
but
that's
it
good.
wasn't. It wasn't because he was calling for it. It was because his intelligence apparatus was calling for it from the threats of these.
In case shit pops off.
Right.
Yo, so this comedian Amston Hughes made a joke on Facebook. He said, "Hey, I think they already defund the police because I don't see any of the tanks or horses
My
that I saw."
man.
Yo,
So, can you imagine in 1700s, 1800s, like everything was by horse.
yeah,
Everything was by horse. They didn't have tanks.
no, horses.
My
yeah.
God, you know how long everything must have took back then?
But you did it in style, though. You know,
I mean, I guess it
it's
smelled like horse shit.
you fucking shit up on a horse versus a tank. You may not be as effective, but you're definitely way more stylish.
Yeah, 100%.
The drip
Style
factor
points,
on a horse versus a tank is not even. I mean, you can't can you even
GQ drip of the month.
can you even compare those?
Not even
Yeah,
close.
I don't think so either.
No.
Yeah.
So
Hey, what is the 25th Amendment? So he doesn't give a fuck, comma, 25th Amendment. So what is the 25th Amendment? Janice, can you help us out with that answer? We got Janice working out in the background here. As soon as he lost Pennsylvania, he stopped working as the president. Yo.
that's a fair point.
Bro, that's like a
That's a fair point.
that's like when I lose a big sale I've been counting on, and the rest of the month I'm like, yo, I got to recover from this mentally.
Yeah, that's just we're done for the month. Pack it in.
Yeah.
So 25th Amendment, Janice, fact check me on this. 25th Amendment is when the vice president and 2/3 of the cabinet, all of the secretaries,
Yep.
which is a weird thing to call really powerful people. They're all secretaries, but shout out to secretaries,
Oh, yeah, that's
administrative assistants.
Administrative assistant of the state.
Yeah. Yeah. I am the administrative assistant of energy. That's actually a badass title
Right?
if you think about it.
Right? Because
That's,
then it's more like you're
that's
serving.
like the last airbender.
I like. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm the administrative assistant to energy. So vice president, 2/3 of the cabinet would have to basically have a vote of no confidence for the president, and Pence would become the president. So they would all collectively agree to remove him, and he'd be out.
Okay.
And I believe if the 25th Amendment is used against you, you lose all of the presidential like benefits.
Yes, like you don't get
the retirement package.
Yeah, the money, the Secret Service.
That's
the
right.
Fucking,
That's right.
That's
Now,
that's kind of fucked up to leave him out in cold with no Secret Service. I get the money, but like the Secret Service, like, but I guess that costs each of those dudes probably costs $500,000 a year each.
well, and my man is going to live at Mar-a-Lago after it, so
Yeah.
the U.S. government will continue to pay for him to live at Mar-a-Lago, just like they have been, throughout his presidency.
All right, we got Robinson Santana. No Trump, but military higher ups will have them out with National Guard law enforcement protection at the inauguration. That's good. Then we can. That'll be cool. I feel like these people we dealt with swiftly.
Yeah,
if they
awesome.
come
You
back.
mean, okay, great. So the military can defend its own people from its own people? Great. Like, why are we celebrating that as an accomplishment?
What do you mean? But because now
Because
I
we
feel
didn't do it.
We feel rest assured, right? If the president is unable to do his job, the vice president becomes president. That's the 25th Amendment. That's great. I like that. But Janice is a woman, so she might be a little biased here, Janice. I think you just want Kamala as
Nope,
no,
this
my
is a
bad.
swing and a
I'm-
miss. This is a swing and a miss at sexism,
I tried to
people.
fuck with you, Janice, and I just put my foot in my mouth. So
We
this
have
is
a
what we got.
swing and a miss.
The future is female. This is why
Yeah, man. Janice, whenever you want to come on and co-host, let me know. So Freddie, what's interesting, and through the work of journalists and reporting that's coming out of the House and the Senate, there's some shady stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and it's really starting to stack up like this might have been a coordinated and planned insurrection by Trump and his supporters and funders.
I'm a simple man, you know. I like to look at just like there's red flags, and just Rudy Giuliani saying trial by combat. That means there were conversations had before he said that. You don't just pop up off the mouth saying trial by combat. There are things that happened before that. Just that alone, you can tell. But what did you find, Greg?
Well, I'm a complicated man like Shaft, and no one understands me but my 4-year-old dog. So
is he 4?
Yeah, he's a 4-year-old.
I feel like you're lying on those papers, man. I don't know. I feel like
Peter's
6, and he's definitely been around since Peter. Oh no, but no, you met Peter when you're right. All right, just making sure, dude.
Hey, dude, you're talking to a trusted journalist here. You know, you're talking to a credible journalist, and I'm only giving the real. So there's a complicated web here. So you got to go back to November. Trump loses the election, immediately cries foul.
Yeah.
Loses every single lawsuit.
Yep.
Not every single lawsuit. He did win one, which was the lawsuit in Pennsylvania where it got his people to be like 25 feet or 50 feet closer.
What if it was like something unrelated? Like he won a law. He had an ongoing lawsuit with Chuck E. Cheese that he actually ended up putting out.
Yeah, he settled with the cheese. Yeah. I don't know what happened. There was no money, but he got free pizza and ski ball tickets. So you go back to November, lose the election. He picks up some steam with his supporters, of course, but he also gets his, fall in line politician supporters, the Ted Cruzes, the Marco Rubios, the Jim Jordans, the Lindsey Grahams.
What's Chris Christie's sexy ass doing?
I don't know. I think he's a spokesmodel for Krispy Kreme.
He does. His skin complexion is kind of the color of a Krispy Kreme too.
Yeah, he looks like a donut.
Coincidentally, yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. Like you look like what you eat the most.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing. I just made it up, but he definitely looks like a donut. That I can say for sure. Of course. Like for the last 4 years, everyone has catered to Trump because they don't want to upset him. So, hey, you want to do a recount in Georgia? Let's do it. You want to do another recount in Georgia? Let's do it. What do you need to see in order to have this proven to you that that you lost?
Yeah.
They did all that, and he just kept going, and created this fever pitch, right? And so,
that's
if you treat your supporters, your most vocal supporters, like they're your flock and you're Jesus, and they worship you like you're Jesus, they're going to believe you when you say that the election was stolen. And he does it in that way where he says it's stolen from you. It's stolen from you, that we need to fight. And, he was just leading those people down a really dangerous path. And so, leading up to it, he promoted this rally on his Twitter before it was jacked, and we'll get to that in a second.
I think people need to be careful that they're not trying to find purpose in politics.
Boy,
you know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Like these people, you need to be having something that you're passionate about that's outside of politics. You can't be. This
is the Kardashian effect. This is a part of my theory that I'm calling now the Kardashian effect.
Let's hear it.
It's drama, and Trump's a master at that. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant marketer. He can dominate the narrative. He can throw so much at people that he just confuses you.
Good night, Janice. Guys, Janice is going to bed.
Thank you so much,
commenting.
Janice.
Thank you, Robinson Santana, Babs Fisher.
That's my grandmother.
Oh,
Mama,
yay.
I love you so much.
That's awesome, dude. The comments are great, dude.
This
I love
is the
it.
best.
Yeah, this has been a great episode.
So I have to give a shout out to my mama, my grandmother. She lives in a very conservative part of Florida. And there's no one who fights harder for what is right than my grandmother and my grandfather.
Oh, good for
my
them.
grandfather's no longer with us, but two of the greatest human beings, and the reason why I am not a total loss of a person.
Oh,
so
look at that, dude.
So you had there's a lot of it's a complex web. So, you have groups like Turning Point USA, who were a part of the organization of this rally. The Florida Attorney General was a part of this rally, a group called the Rule of Law Defense Fund, which is made up of Republican attorneys generals across the country.
Yeah.
It's coming out that several U.S. Capitol Police officers have been suspended. Another dozen are under investigation.
Yep.
The Capitol Police Chief resigned. You have police officers and firemen. Being and then all the normal people, the people who you and I would see every day just walking around. They might be CEOs, they might be ex-military. These are the makeup. This is the makeup of people who were at this rally. Stormed the Capitol.
I feel like it was a lot more crazies than.
But those are the people who are being arrested.
That's true. You had a vet that was one of the girls that was shot. When you think about it, you're like, fuck. Like that's what I thought. I was like, oh, she was a Air Force veteran and Q. Like that shit hurt. That shit hurt me, man.
I think we've also covered QAnon and the dangers of that, and the dangers. There's a fine line of like fun with conspiratorial thinking. Like every once in a while, we'll throw on our conspiracy hats, but there's a real danger when like you're following, a man like he's, a god.
Yeah.
There's a Killer Mike line off of his new album. He's talking about Trump supporters. The whole album is very politically charged, but he says, "How are you the product of a god, but you worship a man?"
Yeah.
And I've thought about that every single day since I heard that song, because like I'm not like that. So I can't, so it's hard for me to like understand like how someone.
Yeah. I couldn't vote for him just off of, he's not a leader. I can't be like, hey, lead me, sir. Like,
no.
And I know people, they wanted to save whatever, what $7,000 for the year, maybe on taxes. Was the money worth it?
Here's the deal.
The money you saved on taxes with Trump, spread that out on a weekly basis. Like
and the weird thing is like, okay, Republicans, they talk about tax cuts, but they're anti adding to the debt, the national debt. And they added like north of $4 trillion to the debt. Someone will have to fact check me on the number, but the debt went up dramatically because Trump ran the country like his business.
Wow. All right. So speaking of traditionally, because I feel like that word has just been shoved all up all of our asses, and it's come out of our mouths as something different.
I feel like that was a shot fired at me.
Oh. No, I was trying to do a grandiose transition into.
Oh, I like it.
Into the banning of Trump.
Can I just say one more thing about I would like to give a shout out to Capitol Police Officer Eugene Goodman. Eugene Goodman is the black officer that you'll see. He's like the one black officer who's being chased by like a group of the insurrectionists.
Yep.
There's like one guy like pointing in his face, like all in his face. He's threatening to beat him with the thing. There's like a video going around of that, and people are calling it staged. Like this is what they're using.
Bullshit.
You can watch the video and see him look into the Senate chambers, realize that it was not locked down yet, and you can see like the QAnon guy who was like in front of him also look that way. And then the officer shoves him and then runs up the stairs and takes this crowd away from the Senate chambers. So that guy's actually a hero. So shout out to Officer Eugene Goodman.
Did he have a gun?
It looked like he either had a very small pistol on his side, but it could have been a taser. But he definitely, that thing was definitely in the holster, and he definitely only had a baton because they instructed the Capitol Police not to use deadly force.
Wow, good for them, because I would have been like, I feel like I'm in danger.
Well, they murdered a cop. So, and they
beat him up with a flag, right?
They beat him up with a flag. They beat another one up. That might have been the same one that they beat up with a fire extinguisher as well. But there's also a cop who committed suicide afterwards. Like, so,
damn, dude.
So I thought those were the
that must be
Blue Lives
frustrating.
Matter people.
That must be frustrating for conservative people to be like, fuck, like the Black Lives Matter protest caused a ton of destruction. They kind of had that one under their like morality belt, maybe. You know, and now it's like all that is not even gone. It's like it's so.
Well, I think it speaks to the hypocrisy that they're not following traditional Republican values. They're following Trump.
I mean, and right now for Trump, they're willing to go back on one of their long-standing things, which is like a business has the right to do what they do. So right now, I'm noticing a flip to go on social media and see liberal folk be like, well, this business is a private business. They can do as they please. I'm like, this is crazy to me. To me, this is like, whoa.
Now we hit our transition point.
Like, right, there you go. See, I just needed your help. I tried to force it earlier, but you know,
we're
like McElroy and
Macklemore. You mean?
No,
McElroy.
Blades of Glory. When
Dude, I mean, I know movies and I get references, but you're giving me the character names from Blades of Glory. You should just give me the Kanye. I don't even know what it means. All right, so the huge news coming off of this is Trump being removed from Twitter.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, so now there's a question of free speech. People are saying that Twitter is what Twitter's doing is unconstitutional, which is it's not, because free speech protects you from the government infringing on your rights of free speech, not a private company, correct?
That's right.
And then there's some people saying, well, if a business can do what they do, then what's up with the COVID mandates? Or can private businesses do what they do, or is this just people cherry picking? And I think it's both sides of cherry picking, but
yeah, I mean, it's weird. I don't know where I stand completely on taking Trump off Twitter. Here's where my mind immediately goes. It goes to, well, this guy is spewing lies, and now those lies have led to violence and death, and that's not tolerable.
yeah.
And so when words, I'm not a fan of the phrase words matter. At least the way that it was overused. Like, words obviously matter.
Yeah.
But this is a consequence of words mattering, right? And if you're not choosing your words carefully and you're using violent language and dog whistling and things that ends up with, five people dying.
Yeah.
Because you're a crybaby bitch and lost an election.
Yeah, this is wild.
Then maybe you shouldn't have Twitter. And as the president of the United States, you could literally snap your fingers, say, I need to make a national address, and you'd be on every television channel and thus every social network.
Yeah.
So, like, it's kind of like crybaby tears, like, hey man, you just don't want to be accountable. And so that's why you're not, we've only had Twitter for, 10, 12 years. And
something
so
like that, yeah.
Every other president that needed to get a message out could get a message out. They might have to take questions, or they may not take questions.
Yeah.
But like, hey, I'm your president. You can see my face at any time because
Yeah.
I'm the president and I have the ultimate say. I can cut into the World Series and give an address.
Yeah, you're saying he didn't need Twitter to communicate with the people.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Just because it's his preferred method.
Yeah.
No other president had used that. Like Obama didn't use Twitter as his preferred method.
That was
of
nice, though. I
communicating.
liked hearing from the president via Twitter.
I don't mind, but when like policy on a whim is happening over Twitter, or like your cabinet doesn't know about things because like, hey, did you see what President Trump just tweeted? He wants to move the capital of Israel to Jerusalem. You know what I mean? Like things just like, it's a weird place. It's a weird place for a leader. Like how many leaders spend all day on social media and watching TV?
Oh, that's when you lay it out like that. It feels.
You know what I
weird.
mean?
Yeah.
And so it's great as a way to like humanize yourself.
Yeah.
Like if Obama had been in office and he had tweeted like, holy shit, man, Mitch McConnell was super racist today. We didn't get anything done. Back to the drawing board tomorrow. #YOLO. Like, okay, that humanizes you a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like we got a little bit too much of that. We got a lot of that, and we realized through his Twitter who Trump the human was, and he's a roaster.
Yeah.
He's a crazy roaster.
Yeah, I don't agree with the move, and I started with I don't agree with the move that Twitter's doing that because I just don't think it's good to stifle expression. But I said I respect their right to do it because I like the idea of the free business thing. That was one of the conservative values that I was like, that's fucking cool. You build your shit, you fucking control your shit as long as you're not fucking up people's stuff. And now I'm maybe taking a few steps closer to wanting to, I guess, I don't know. I guess to be selfish, like I want to hear what he has to say. Why are we?
Yeah, you almost like miss it a little bit because like at least it was predictable, right?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, something popped off. I know he's gonna tweet about it.
And then the right wing accounts like Parler and all that, like or Parlay, whatever.
Is it parlay?
It's French. It means to talk, which means that's probably yeah. So like, that's not on any of the servers. So now it makes me feel uncomfortable that we're now trying to silence half of the voting population. Like
I don't think it is that though.
Really?
So let me say something. I think social media needs a reckoning.
Some kind of correction.
Social media needs a correction.
I don't know why, but when you say that, there's a feeling, and I'm like, it makes sense.
Social media needs a correction because even if I'm saying something dumb, I should be able to be dumb, right?
Yeah.
That's theoretical free speech, I guess. Constitutional law experts, please don't listen to this. But there's a weird gray area when you're in a leadership role that is paid by the American public where you shouldn't be able to lie.
Oh, yeah.
And you shouldn't be able to incite violence.
Yeah.
And so what do you do then? You suspend their accounts? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but like when the people that you, and this is true of Democrats or Republicans, Democrats shouldn't be able to lie and they shouldn't be able to do any of the things. If we're paying their salaries, if taxpayers are paying your salary, like there needs to be an accountability where you're not allowed to lie. And, you know, there needs to be a level of transparency. And if you're inciting violence and you're lying, like there needs to be an accountability mechanism for that. Yeah. And I think there are, you know, you can be censured, you can, you can resign, you can do all these things, but like, how do we create, like, I think we would agree, like, you're not just going to eliminate hate speech. Like, hate is going to exist.
Yeah.
Hate is going to exist, but, and so, like, if you are a private business, like, you don't want, like, no one, you don't want to be the platform of hate. And Twitter is hypocritical in that regard because of all of, you know, the horrible dictators and government leaders that they have on the platform that are still there.
Apparently, they took down. I think it was today or recently. They took down like 70,000 accounts.
QAnon accounts.
Oh, QAnon. Okay,
Yeah,
there we go.
it was
There we go.
QAnon
It was
accounts.
QAnon. That makes sense.
QAnon related or
Yeah.
QAnon adjacent accounts. Yeah, but like then the question is like, well, who's making the decisions of what can and cannot be? And
Yeah, there's a bunch of
then-
questions there.
there's a
Yeah,
lot of questions. But here's the thing, like parler. What was the thing you said a couple episodes ago? Pernil.
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 Yeah, that's
Pernil.
Dominican pork shoulder or Puerto
Yeah.
Rican pork shoulder, depending on.
Pernil.
Yeah.
Like Parler is, so to your point, I don't think 50% of the country has been banned from Twitter. I think a couple major figures
Yeah. Yeah.
who are conservative. So here's the thing. When Twitter bans, when Twitter bans hate speech or Nazi related propaganda or conversation or speak, white supremacy, Proud Boys, things like that, and Republicans can say, hey, big tech is silencing conservative voices. Isn't that like an admission of like being terrible people?
Who? How?
So all the things that I've just mentioned, which are being banned, like hate speech,
Yeah.
inciting violence,
Yeah.
white supremacy, Proud Boys, and then all of the people on that side cry, hey, you're banning conservative speech, you're censoring us.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that an admission of being?
Yeah, the vague part is hate speech because it's like what is considered hate speech. But yes, the other shit, the white supremacy, the Proud Boys, those are confirmed. Like, yes, that is weird.
And it's weird, right?
Weird hill to die on. Like,
And so all of the Republican leaders that are now coming out and like calling for unity,
yeah,
in the last week of his presidency when like, the Capitol was just attacked. Like, why? It's kind of arrogant to think that like the people who are on the opposite end of the hate speech, the white supremacy, all of that stuff should be the ones to have to unite. Now, I agree, like we need unity, but like, couldn't you just like couldn't you unite and be like, hey, the election was legit. There was no fraud. And like, we are going to work with the incoming administration and we pledge to work, to reach across the aisle, to work with Democrats and, let's hope that we can create something better.
yeah.
Is that a drop the mic moment for me? I don't know.
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
That's to me that like, one of the big things right now is like there's no unity without accountability. That's I think
Yeah.
a lot of Democrats.
Yeah.
But like, that sounds pretty legit to me.
I mean, so what do you think? Do you think the Democrats be the bigger people here, or do we just keep this cycle going?
I'd really prefer we didn't keep the cycle going.
Yeah.
I'd love for. So here's what we know. Tomorrow, January 13th, Wednesday, they're going to vote on impeachment.
Jesus.
And
I feel like it's not going to happen. All this stuff, he's going to court, he's going to jail, he always just goes back home to his house and whatever he does. Like, I hear, Trump's in court. Oh my God. I don't know. Unless you're going to fucking great Bambino and call this one too, because that's what you did. You fucking Babe Ruth last week. You Babe Ruth the violence.
I know.
At Capitol Hill. You went like that. You pointed at where you were going to hit the home run.
I
and
called my shot.
You did it, bro.
I called my shot.
You did. That's what you did.
How do I monetize this? Damn it.
I don't know. I think you make a few good calls We'll get some clips, and I think we can. I think we can do something with that.
So, all right, I'm in. So we're gonna find out tomorrow if he is impeached or not.
Yeah.
After that, there are more of these violent protests scheduled at every single state capitol building in all 50 states.
They are
in the next week and a half.
Geez.
So that's great. There's 3 plans that we know about. I feel like at this stage, if we know about 3 plans, they've already been thwarted, and there's probably like 20 others that they're focusing on.
Possibly, yeah. I think for the normal citizens that are just trying, like everyone that's just like, what the fuck? I really do think that for us people, critical thinking and empathy are at really high value right now. Like for you to protect yourself and the people around you, your mental health, your emotional health, like critical thinking and really understanding nuance and being honest and empathy. Like just.
And also follow the money.
Yeah.
And follow the money.
And follow World Local News on YouTube too.
Yeah, for sure. And Instagram. What do you think? We call it?
Yeah, dude. That was a great
episode.
That was a great episode, bro. That was so good. Dude, the comments were fun. Luis Santana, what's up, baby? He says, so true, Freddie. Thank you for joining us, Luis. For everybody that joined us, Robinson Santana, the Latinos. Dude, shout out to Latinos, baby. Dude, Puerto Rico is in the house.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're not going to shout out my mama?
Oh, hold on. And shout out to Grandma Babs Fisher representing. Dude, this is great. The comments were fun. Energy was great. Dude, you're the man, dude.
No, you're the man.
Guys, subscribe to the World Local News. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, my podcast, Instagram. Hit Greg Perlman up on Instagram, baby. He's a cutie patootie. He's got great dog pics. He's got a little husky that's cute as shit. Hit him up, all right? He goes to therapy.
We love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye. Hold on.